Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wonders. Welcome to my channel. My name is Liz. I welcome you to I Am a Wonder. So today, guys, I came with my Bible, one of my Bibles. This is a Bible study that I use when I want to understand. It's quite thick when I want to understand certain things in the Bible. Right. So today in this video I'll be sharing with you about my experience when I was at a boarding school. Yeah, at a boarding school. I decided to do this video because in the previous video that I did about dating, my dating life, like the background, and I'll do another video for the part 2 of from that to date, right? So in this video I'll be sharing with you about my boarding school, right? So to start with, I was at a my grade 8 and 9, I did it at a missionary school, which was a girls school and it was a Catholic school. So we used to pray every morning. We used to, like, that's the prayer of, they pray Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, and all that. Like, we would memorize it from grade 8 term 1. We knew about that. Then when every Wednesday we used to have mass, in was each class was assigned to lead every Wednesday. So from it, we had how many? I think we had about 6 classes of grade 8. So each grade had 6 classes like that to grade 12. Yeah. So in the way it works in Zambia, when you are in grade 8, you move to grade 9. In grade 9 you write like a national exam, and then that determines whether you are going to, sorry about that, it is my neighbor on the other side who is walking into the apartment, but the sound can be louder sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, you write a national exam that will determine whether you're going to grade 10 and what school and where. So with me, my case, I didn't perform very well, so I didn't pass. My passing rate wasn't able to take me back to that school, so I had to find means of how to continue. So my mom eventually, God bless her so much, I love her so much, she's my hero. Yeah, so she found a school for me, but this school was called Namyanga Boarding School. It was actually starting, like the development was very slow. It was in a very remote area, like very remote, and I think I was one of the students there. So my mom got a school through someone that was like my dad's cousin, something like that, through my dad's cousin. So after that, my mom she didn't even go and assess the school, she just got the forms. I don't know how, I can't remember, because then that time there was internet, but not the way everything works now. That's like the speed, no. So I got the forms, my mom got me what was it? I think it's a trunk, a mattress that I needed to go with clothes, obviously, and just some pocket money. And my school fees was partially paid. Then we went to this school. It's very remote. And we got there. We saw the what do you call this? The classes, the administration. I think it was on a weekend, so that I can go to class on a Monday, something like that. So yeah, after that I went to the dorms. They call it dorms. Sorry guys, I seem confused because I'm hearing different sounds, but anyway, I'll proceed with the video. So I went to the dorms. The dorms it was actually a house that was being used that time for girls only to sit to live in there. I think we were about 20 to 25 girls, different ages, different grades, and yeah. And we were using one bathroom. We have to cook for yourself, unfortunately. And then it was a 3 bedroom house, and some would sleep in the living room, some would sleep in bedrooms like that. So I got there late, so I was sleeping on the living room, but it was a big, beautiful house. And then these are the things that were, it was an adventure for me. It was close to a river, so we'd go to a river and we'd find fishermen there, and then we'd buy fish and we'll go and cook, but you cook on firewood. So that experience was quite different, and yo guys, it was so terrible. At night when you are sleeping, you know, the rats like mouse, rat, they would, the house had full of those things, you know. And those things would come and bite you on your fingers and your feet, especially if you ate food and you didn't wash your hands, it will eat. So the first time I experienced that, we were sleeping on the floor on mattresses, and I was so terrified. I didn't sleep. I would see those rats like on people, and the people around me were very used. I was very uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep. So lucky enough, I had a phone, but my mom, sorry, just to communicate with my mom, but the school didn't allow. So the first 2 days I communicated with my mom. I told her everything, they set up everything that was happening, everything. And sometimes we would go to the bush to look for firewood, and would go in fields, people's fields, and yeah, we would go and look for maize. Yeah, so but I had my pocket money, and there was nowhere to buy food. Like literally, there was no shops. It was a very remote area, not more of a village, but it was still developing. And then there was a lot of things like satanism, witchcraft activities. By then I wasn't very spiritual, and they were talking about those things a lot, that you miss your underwear, and the fishermen would take your underwear, so they would do incantations after they do enchantments and all that. Then they'll go and fish more fish, however that fish won't have taste, and what and not. So I was there for, I think, until Friday. It was a week. My mom called me and she told me that I'm coming to pick you up. She came to pick me up on a Friday, evening, afternoon. Yeah, she came to pick me up on a Friday, because from the city where we were staying to that place was like 2 hours drive. So she came to pick me up, and then that's how I left that school. So I left the school. On our way home, my mom told me that I go to a new school, and I was very excited, but it was a boarding school as well, and it was Kalomo High School. For those who are my friends from high school, you know what I'm saying, and you know how the school is. If it's a government school, even now it's still there, it's functioning. It's a very big school, very, very big, very big. Each grade has got 8 classes. Very big school. The dining is massive. It's a very good school. The education is okay. Yeah, the quality. So then after a week, after I prepared everything that was needed, I had my trunk, my mattress, my new uniform, school books, like all those things. Then I went to the school, but at this time I had to travel, to take on a public transport bus, and it's like 6 hours drive. Then that's when I get to the school. My mom was there with me. First day, went to settle my fees, and then that is the day I saw that guy I was talking about from my previous video. That same day, he was the first person that I came across. Yes, and he was very nice. So at that school, the school had hostels, and they were they were called according to colors. So I was given blue hostel. So there was blue hostels, there was yellow, there was green, and there was red. Even on the male side, there was blue, yellow, green, and red. So I was on the blue side. And when I went there, I had my mom. I went with my mom. When my mom came with me to the dorms. So the way it was set up, it had a fence, wire fence, and then it had a wall fence. Then when you the entrance, when you enter, there's ablutions, the toilets for the lower grades, grade 8 and grade 10s. It's only 3 grades, grade 10s and grade 11s, and then on the other side there was a grade 12 one. So then the grade 12 one was close to the blue hostel. Grade 8, sorry, grade 10 and 11 is hostel block, dorm block. Then the grade 12 one was in the middle for the blue and for the yellow as well. The yellow, no, this side was green and yellow was on the other side, and then there was red after blue, right? So my mom went with me and she saw where I was supposed to be sleeping and everything in my bucket. I had a bucket. You need to have a bucket that you'll be using to draw water, because I don't know, there's this thing in Zambia, they take water. At a certain time, water just goes, there'll be no water. And then you come back later. The experience there now, life began at a boarding school, bathing cold water in the morning, and making sure the bell will ring at 5:45. No, 5:45. Is it 5:45? 5:45. You have to go and bath. Once you shower, you come back, you dress up. Then at 6, 6:15 or something like that, it's time for you to go and eat breakfast at the dining. And the breakfast was samp mixed with peanuts. Yes. So usually, then when I went, I didn't know that's how people live in boarding school. When I went the first time, I just went with money and a few things that I would need. But I realized when I got there, you need to have powdered milk, you need to have sugar, you also need to have cooking oil that you heat it, then you spice it, and then because the food there, they do add cooking oil, but the food doesn't taste all good. You need to have salt, you need to have basics, like basics. If you just want to enjoy, and tin food was really recommended. So I wasn't, sometimes I wouldn't eat, but if you don't eat, if you don't eat, then you won't eat. So you experience everything. People will be kind, people won't be kind, you get broken, you get hurt, you cry, you do everything, you make mistakes, you'll be punished. It was a whole experience. Now on the spiritual side, we had things like scripture union, but I was never interested in it. And then we used to go to church on Sunday, like they made classes like church places where you can congregate from. So my church I used to go to, we had our class where we used to go and worship from and everything. And and then that is from what I've explained so far, is from Monday to Friday. Would go to the dining in the morning, and then at 7:30, no, at 8 o'clock, that's when the bell for the siren will ring for the classes. And then at you have break at 10:45, and then at 12 you have your school classes are finished now. Then you have lunch at 1 o'clock. That's a Monday. On a Monday, after Monday, you have they call it, is it production unity, where you have to clean the surrounding of the school. On Tuesday, it's the afternoon. You have to attend clubs. On Wednesday, what were we? Wednesday is to clean your environment at the dorms. On Thursday was for sports. Friday was also for cleaning the dorms. Saturday was a day we will have inspection. Ooh, that day was crazy and stressful. You wake up 5, even sometimes 4 a.m. You make sure the dorm is packing, because on Monday morning they will be announcing which dorm won for that thing, and then they'll give a prize and every Saturday. So when that thing the inspection thing is happening, it was a stressful time, but yeah, it was just to keep us clean all the time, the dorms and everything. And yeah, and then in the evenings there was entertainment where they would go to the hall where we used to have our assembly and have entertainment. There would be music playing, people dancing and all that. Yeah, but we used to have a teacher on duty to monitor everyone in case people are hiding in corners and doing the wrong things and stuff. And then on Sunday, church. Monday, same routine like that. So there was a lot of things that was going on, guys. Spiritual side, we used to hear stories of Satanists, like, but no one was praying. I never met anyone who was saved and prayed then, like, but we would be scared of Satanists. I remember there was this other lady that it's not a lady, it's just a girl. Then she was known to be that, like, if when everybody looks at her, they'll say she's a Satanist, and she would collapse. So most of the time, like, she would collapse, and people would say, no, when she collapses, she goes, they take her underwater. There was all those stories. So after I got saved, that's when I understood to say, okay, those things that were being talked about, it was just I'm not sure if she was, but it was information that was shared, but people didn't know the actual, what can I say, like, it was just the surface of the information, but there is deep thing like the marine, where you should say underwater and stuff like that. And when we have load shedding, a lot of activities, people used to scream and stuff. There was a lot of things that used to go on, but no one knew that this thing was spiritual, because no one was praying. We would sleep with our Bibles, because we used to do a religious education as a subject, and would sleep with the Bible, put it on under your pillow and everything. And then that's when we'll have peace, instead of us feeding ourselves with the word, and everything like that. So it was an experience. And my advice, this question, would I ever want to take my child to a boarding school? Yes. How? But this is the major thing. My child has to go to boarding school only when they are saved, and I have built the foundation. God has, not me, God has built a foundation in my child that is very firm. The child knows, when the child stands, a child is able to discern what's wrong and right. The child is able to speak when they see something is wrong. They need to stand. They can't easily not be initiated, but they can easily pick up things and stand and say no to things, spiritually and physically. They need to be mature in those areas. Then I know the child can go. Like right now, if I had to go to a boarding school, I know the things that I know how I can survive there. I know how my prayer life, I know everything, even how to stand when attacks come and everything. Yeah. So I think that's what the child needs. Yeah, so guys, that's what I had for you in this video. And make sure you read the Bible, meditate. I love you so much, my wonders. You are wonders, valued, highly favored, highly recognized, created in God's image. How beautiful, how mindful. Our God is so, he's so mindful of us, and he just loves us so much. I have to go, guys. Bye.